My name's Paul Bazakis with Wizards of the Coast, and to my right is sitting Mike Merles, Group Manager of D&D R&D. Mike is going to walk us through the D&D Essentials line. This is the new product lineup for D&D that's releasing in the fall of 2010. We're very excited about it. We're going to introduce a lot of new concepts, a lot of new ways to play. It's still 4th edition. It's going to be great. Mike, let's start off with the D&D starter game. It's got a familiar look. You may recognize this. Walk us through it. Tell us what it is.
Right, so this is the D&D starter set. You notice it comes in a red box. It's a classic Larry Elmore art. If you started playing D&D back in the early 80s, you probably recognize this. And if you started playing D&D with that set, there's definitely a strong resemblance insofar as how this game teaches you how to play D&D. So one of the great things about this product is if you've never played D&D before, there's a solo adventure you can play through. And as you battle goblins and work your way through the adventure, you make choices that form your character. So by the end of the adventure, not only have you saved the day, but you've also created your first D&D character. You'll be at first level and ready to take on the world and the group adventure that's included in here that you can play with a DM. Now, we also take a very similar approach for DMs with a introductory experience that walks a first-time DM through running an encounter where the characters battle a group of goblins. So once you've made your way through the solo adventure and the group adventure, you should be closing in on 3rd level. So there's plenty of hours of gameplay in here. It's a complete D&D experience.
I really love this product. This is going to be a common theme in D&D Essentials. We're going to talk about it over and over again. But what we've tried to do with these product designs is offer you something new, or offer the fans something new in the self-contained play experience. So D&D in the past has always been a game of buy this, and then buy this other thing, and then buy another thing before you can start to play. With something like the D&D starter set, everything you need to play is in this box, right? So you have your maps, you have your 3-dimensional tokens, you have your adventure. In addition, we've also added this solo play option, so it's easy for someone to just pick up the game and learn it themselves without having to first gather 3 or 4 like-minded people. D&D Essentials does not present a new way to play, and that it's still fully 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons. What it does present, though, is a new way to buy. What we try to do with D&D Essentials is make products more accessible by cutting them up into smaller parts and then attaching lower price points or more accessible price points to those parts. The next 2 products we're going to talk about are Heroes of the Fallen Lands and Heroes of the Forgotten Kingdoms. These products are both $19.95. Mike, walk us through these products. What's new, what's different, what's the same?
So once you've played through the adventures in the starter set, you see you have a choice. Some D&D players want to go on to make heroes and play the game, and others want to become storytellers, become DMs. If you want to play, if you want to be a player, then your next step is Heroes of the Fallen Lands. That's a book. It extends on the classes and races that are featured in the starter set and takes you from levels 1 to 30. So that's the obvious next step if you're playing your wizard. You've made up, you've gone through the solo adventure, you've gone through the group adventure, and you're ready to go hit 3rd level and keep going. That's the next step for you.
And the classes in this book are really kind of the core, sort of most representative class of D&D, right? You're talking about your cleric, your rogue, your fighter, your wizard, you have your elf, your dwarf, right? All of the things that people remember from the D&D starter game brought to life through 30 levels in this book.
Exactly. It's the complete D&D experience. If your first step was the starter set, the rest of your journey is within Heroes of the Fallen Lands.
Now, were there any changes made to this book? One question we get all the time we're on the road, retailers will ask and fans will ask, is it a new edition? We've answered that question. No, it is absolutely not a new edition. It is fully 4th edition. But what are the changes? Are they the same classes that are in the current player's handbook? If not, what are they? What does it do to the current player's handbook? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. It doesn't replace anything in the player's handbook. It purely adds new elements to the game. There are new options. And really what we were looking to do was to say there's the fighter in the player's handbook. Well, we want to make an experience, especially for beginners, people who haven't played D&D before. That's a different design approach than necessarily we would have in the player's handbook, which is really aimed at existing D&D players. So the design in Heroes of the Fallen Lands sits alongside all those elements. A player can choose to play a fighter from the player's handbook, or they can choose to play the knight or the slayer, the 2 types of fighters in Heroes of the Fallen Lands. You can mix them both as much as you want. There's compatibility between spells and prayers for clerics and wizards. They're the same game. Nothing has changed as far as the core of the game goes. There are simply new elements to add to the game.